It is coming up on 12 o'clock. So I am recording this session for anybody who is missing this. Again, my name is Gina Krueger, and I'm so happy to see you here with us for these 20-minute tenets. As you know, that 20-minute tenet is meant as a brief introduction to a topic that we have a full presentation about. This is just 20 minutes to get you going in the right direction. So I am the director of Real Living and just want you to remember that our mission and our passion is to help people achieve their best wherever they're at. So I am going to go ahead and set my timer for my 20 minutes so that I don't go over, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm also going to turn off my face because when I don't, it's hard for me to flip through the slides and be able to see and see the slides and see you at the same time. So I'm shutting my face off for a moment. If you have questions or concerns throughout the presentation, I want you to go ahead and just raise your hand or unmute yourself and go ahead and talk because we have a lot to get through in a short amount of time. So today we're talking about fitting in fitness. And I know that that's one of the hardest things that any of us try to do is get physical during our workday, especially when we have a desk job or we're seated or don't get a lot of action with whatever it is we're doing during the day. Today we're going to look at realistic ways to kind of fit physical activity into your day. So let's get started. First of all, hopefully everyone can still see the screen. Physical fitness, as it says on the screen, is the ability to carry out daily tasks without fatigue, having energy left over to enjoy leisure time, and the ability to respond to emergencies. When we're talking about fitness for real living, we're talking about functional fitness, which is the next definition. It says, a body capable of performing real life activities with ease. And so there's a difference. The fitness meaning the ability to carry out daily tasks without fatigue, having energy left. That's a medical model kind of example of what physical fitness is. What we mean by physical fitness is that you're able to perform real life activities with ease so that you can do the things that bring you joy with ease. So let's talk about what else there is to consider. Research found that exercise keeps our brain healthy, makes us more creative, reduces stress, increases energy, and boosts cognitive performance. So why wouldn't we want to do energy or do physical fitness rather? We've come a long way, as you can see on the screen, for about 500 million years. Our bodies got exercise virtually all day long. We had to fish and hunt and gather. We had to build our own houses. We had to walk if we wanted to talk to somebody because our lives depended on it. Now we've become a convenience-oriented world. So look at the picture of the last man there. We drive to the drive-up windows. We shop online. We have snow blowers or weed whackers instead of bending over and pulling the weeds. Our lack of physical activity is really contributing to this thing that we call the obesity epidemic. So our bodies are designed to move, but we've conveniently decided we don't need to move, and we want to have convenience. So right now, from the real living standpoint, we're talking about how can we build physical fitness back into our daily lives? Because the way we're going now, it's killing us. So what do you mean there's a physical activity problem? If you look at the picture on the screen, it makes me giggle. It's a fitness center, and there's stairs in the middle, and there's two escalators, one going up and one going down. Obviously, you can see what gets used more. The lack of physical activities really throws our energy off balance. So when we talk about physical activity, there's actually three main components of it. Physical fitness um, requires us to do cardiovascular, muscular strength, and flexibility exercises, which are all equally important to make us be able to perform tasks easily during the day. So, working on all three of these will help you carry out your daily functions without getting injured or without having problems. Um, Things that we want you to be able to do are things like carrying your groceries or go up a flight of stairs, um, prevent back injuries when you're sitting at your desk all day long. We want you to be able to figure out these three components of fitness. The first one being cardiovascular or aerobic. There are benefits of this, but has anybody had personal experiences about cardiovascular benefits? Anything you've started doing or stopped doing or anything like that? It's okay if we're a little shy. I'll just kind of keep going. Aerobic activity that we're talking about here with cardio aerobic improves heart and lung functions. It makes your heart and lungs stronger. Remember that your heart is the most important organ or muscle in your body. And so you really want to make sure that that you're working to help prevent injury to your heart. Aerobic activity makes your heart and lungs stronger, and it prevents diseases like diabetes or stroke, which those things account for about 70% of all US deaths. Um, those diseases like diabetes and strokes are usually because of a lifestyle, the lack of physical activity, and that's one of the main risk factors. So we're telling you about fitting in physical fitness because we don't want you to become a statistic. Increasing your physical activity can shift your energy equation and help with weight management, helps control cholesterol and blood pressure. Ultimately, it alleviates stress, it boosts your energy, it can add to your life. Um, you can go to realage.com, which is a website, to see how your specific health habits affect the age of your body. The rhythmic movement of aerobic exercises can really help relax individuals who are feeling stressed or anxious. We know that there's different ways that people perceive stress and that stress shows up in your body, but we know that rhythmic activities that increase your um, cardiovascular workout helps you alleviate stress because it releases what we call endorphins. And those endorphins released during an aerobic activity leave you feeling good. Endorphins are what they call neurotransmitters that are produced in the brain, and they really reduce pain and make you feel euphoric for up to 12 hours, believe it or not. So we want you to relieve stress. We want you to do cardio aerobic exercises. Any activity that raises your heart rate is a cardiovascular activity. And so we want you to think about things that you like to do. Your goal is to raise your heartbeat for a sustained period, with 10 minutes being optimum. It's not necessary to train for a marathon. It's optimum to do something for up to 10 minutes. To make sure you're getting the benefits and working at a safe heart rate, you can use what we call the talk test. And the talk test is when your breathing is significantly more strenuous than it is when you're at rest, but you should still be able to talk. And if you can't talk, then that means you have to slow down. Whatever your choice is for your cardio activity, make sure that it's something you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it, your activity is doomed. You're not going to keep doing it. If you don't like to jog, then don't jog. One of the most fun things that I found that I really like to do is hula hooping. It took me a long time to learn how to do it. But now that I know you have to shift your pelvis from front to back instead of side to side in order to keep it going around, I love it. I do it all the time. Brisk walking is a great activity that many of us can build into our day, but do things like parking farther away in a parking lot, or maybe deliver messages within your office building instead of emailing people. Maybe try to fit in a 10-minute walk at lunch. At home, walk the dog or walk to the store instead of driving. Try to do things that prevent you from sitting still after you've been sitting still at work all day. Things to remember about cardiovascular stuff. Start slowly with an activity that you enjoy. Make sure that, let's see where I lost my things here. Use the FIT principle. I forgot to talk about that. FIT stands for F is frequency, or how often you exercise. And it says start with 3 times a week. You don't have to start off exercising 7 out of 7 days. I stands for intensity. How hard do you exercise? And this is where you use the talk test. If you can't talk, then slow down a little bit. T stands for time. How long are you exercising? And we say start with 10 minutes and then build on that. The second T is for the type of exercise you do. Make sure that it's something that you enjoy. You need to gradually increase one of these factors, whether it's how hard, how long, or how often you exercise. If you try to start running 3 miles every day and you've never exercised, obviously you'll likely get sore or injured. And so we tell you not to start like that. Maybe you'll give up after that. Try to wear comfortable clothing. Try to wear things that help you in your activity rather than hinder your activity. And it gives you activities to be more active. Put a spare pair of tennis shoes in your car or in your office so that you can go for a walk if you have time. And really talk to an athletic trainer if you want to apply that FIT principle to your fitness goals. The components of fitness we just talked about were cardio. Now let's talk a little bit about muscular strength. The next component is building on lean muscle mass that has a really dramatic impact on posture and leaner toned muscles. This basically is making you feel better about your appearance. Muscular strength just makes you feel better both physically and mentally because you look good. Strength training burns more calories efficiently. It helps you build stronger bones and helps you to prevent or reduce the effects of osteoporosis. According to the American Heart Association, mild to moderate resistance training can also have beneficial effects with reducing blood pressure and cholesterol levels. It can reduce the risk of heart disease and also a whole bunch of cancers. And so we say functional fitness for everyday tasks. It helps you burn calories while you're at rest. If you want to improve your chances of living a long and healthy life, you need to stay strong. Regular body training or strength training does a lot more than just building muscles. It really builds a healthy and functional body. So we say do isometric exercises. Those are the things that are done in one position without moving. I'm sure you've seen the stuff on the videos about doing planks or, um, lifting weights or body weight exercises where you can stay in the same position. Things to remember with these isometrics or warm ups is You have to warm up first before you stretch those muscles or do the muscular lifting activities. You always have to have the appropriate amount of weight. Start with a weight that you can lift comfortably 12 to 15 times without losing your form. As you get stronger, then you can increase the amount of weight, or you can increase the amount of times you're lifting it. Make sure you're using the proper technique. Learn to do every single exercise correctly. The better your form, the better your results, and the less likely you are to hurt yourself. Don't expect to learn proper techniques by watching others or learning from a buddy. Really listen to your body when it comes to this. As you age and you're lifting weights, don't compete with your younger self like so many of us do. I know I do that. The statement, no pain, no gain, is not only false, but it's dangerous. You may feel initial muscle soreness following your session, but stop immediately if you experience pain. It's not true. If you feel pain, stop. And then go ahead and allow your body to rest. Remember that when you do strength training, you're actually tearing muscle fibers. So you need a day to allow them to rebuild to get to a stronger state. If you don't allow them to rebuild, you might get injured more commonly than not being injured. The third and final component of fitness is flexibility. Flexibility is the most ignored component of physical fitness, but it's just as important as everything else. Flexibility maintained through regular stretching is the most important way to improve your posture, releases muscle tension and soreness. Regular stretching helps your muscles keep from getting tight. Stretching also helps to relieve stress by relaxing. Sorry, I keep losing my words here. um, it helps you alleviate stress by relaxing tense muscles that often accompany stress. So think about, how does stress show up in your body? Do you get a sore neck? Do you get a sore back? Are your fingers tight because you're clenching your fists? Stretching out or being more flexible really helps you improve those things. It also helps you improve your balance, so you'll be less likely to fall or injure yourself. The ability to move a muscle through a normal full range of motion is called flexibility. Flexibility is defined as the range of motion around a joint. In other words, how far can you bend over? How far can you move your body or stretch a joint? The more flexible you are, the easier it is to do daily tasks. So reaching and bending are all important parts of your daily activities and part of your workout. Flexibility is increased and maintained by doing those things that you see on the screen. It's determined by our genetics, by our age, by our gender, and by our levels of activity. As we age, we tend to lose flexibility, but it's really due to inactivity more so than the aging process. You know what they say, use it or lose it. And again, examples are stretching, yoga, foam roller, but it has to be things that you like to do or you won't do it. So when you're stretching, the things to remember are warm up your muscles first. Sometimes time constraints keep people from stretching. People complain they just don't have enough time. Others hurry out of fitness classes before the cool down stuff is completed. And we say ideally you should stretch 30 minutes 3 times per week. But even a mere 5 minutes of stretching per day is good. It helps prevent potential muscle soreness. And all aerobic activity should be followed by at least a couple minutes of stretching. Some tips for fitting stretching into an overbooked schedule. If you don't have time to sufficiently warm up before stretching, try doing a few stretches immediately after a shower maybe while soaking in the hot tub. The hot water elevates your body and muscle temperature enough to make them more receptive to stretching. Try some simple stretches before getting out of bed in the morning. Maybe wake yourself up with a few full body stretches. Gently point your toes or reaching your arms above your head. All of this can help you clear your mind and help jumpstart your morning. Take a stretching class like yoga or Tai Chi. Scheduling a class will help you stick with a regular stretching program. I know I do this kind of old lady dance class on Wednesdays. It's called Nia, and it's a way to stretch and move and do cardio, all while having a fun with a group of my friends. And it's a blast, and it makes me keep going. So just remember that the components to um, physical fitness are cardio, muscular, and flexibility. I'd like to encourage you to implement this 10-10-10 concept that we talk about at Real Living all the time. If you're currently inactive, it says you try to incorporate a minimum of 10 minutes of each component into your day. Those of you who are active, you could consider which components you may need to work on. Those of you who are not active, you get more benefits if you're active longer than 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is a good place to start. So we found out that there's some new research from the American Council on Exercise that shows that any physical activity in which we move our bodies is beneficial. So exercise, whether it's done in a sweatsuit, birthday suit, or in a gym, or in your basement, is all good exercise. The goal is 30 minutes a day. Aerobic, we say hit the stairs for 10, take a walk, close the door, and start jumping in your office. Strength, do wall push-ups or forward lunges. And flexibility, do lower back stretches or neck rotations. The coffee break, research shows that exercise is really a better energizer than any donut or candy bar you could think of. Mini workouts, 10 to 15 minutes at a time. When you add them together, they become a full one. For example, your first 10-minute workout could be a brisk walk. The second one could be a 10-minute resistance band workout. And the third one could be a yoga video or exercise video. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet like this one, the 7-minute workout, where you have a 7-minute workout that you can do right inside your office. We always say to schedule physical activity into your day so that it can change your attitude about physical fitness. Say yes before you say no. Think about exercising without exercising. Get back to the basics. Put more energy into your daily tasks. Take stretch breaks throughout the day. If you have to wait for something, stretch. While you're brushing your teeth, point your toes. When you're getting out of the shower, do a little bend over stretch to wipe off your feet and legs. Before you know where or how to begin an exercise program, think about these simple steps. I'm just going to come back with my face here and let you know that this is a brief blurb about fitting in fitness. And I want to thank you for your time today. And thank you for your patience as I whip through all this stuff. I know that it's fast. If you have any questions, our number is on the screen. Please feel free to give us a call. Again, go out and fit in some fitness into your world. 10 minutes 3 times a day makes for a full 30-minute workout. And so I really encourage you to do that. If you do that, shoot me a text or an email. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for everything and have a great rest of your afternoon. Holler if you need us.
Thanks, Gina. Hope you have a great week.
Thanks. You too.